13. Desecration and sacrilege all since 2011. Hundreds of desecration of sacrilege in church from 2012, which make the English Christians cry. You can see it's published by a leading journal, newspaper in Colombo. These pictures, the first picture is of that Jesus beheaded, Jesus bust. Here Jesus, the statue itself is vandalized, the church is vandalized. Another church, cross, what happened to it, the seashore. From the year 2012, day in, day out, English churches are invaded, attacked, the church properties are damaged by pseudo-Buddhists and Sri Lankan army. Please list of the 219 churches in another fold. 219 churches were attacked actually. Here you can see what happened inside a church. Ransacked church looks like a battlefield after attack in 2013. Vandalized church by Buddhists and superstition of Buddhist monks in 2013. Church properties damaged in 2013. Church cross shattered in 2013. Church disfiguring Lord statue in 2013. Desecration and sacrilege in 2013. Desecration and sacrilege in 2013. Jaffna bishop inspecting a Jesus statue at one of the churches in Mullaitivu occupied by the Sri Lankan army. Jaffna bishop inspecting yet another cross in 2013. Church altar, statues and pews destroyed in 2013. Number 14, we go to 14. Street churches, Jesus and Mother Mary idols are removed and substituted by Buddha idols. Here, the traffic islands, street corners, they used to have Mother Mary or Jesus small temple. This is all being removed, and they keep removing, after removing Lord Jesus or Mother Mary, they keep Buddha's idol there. One such thing has happened in Mannar, Pallimunai. Singular Christian priests too are attacked and the churches attacked. We are going to see next. So far we are talking about in general, but here we go to specific. Ethnicity is no advantage for singular Christians. The attack on other religions happening almost every day, and even singular Christians are not spared or killed, though both the killers and victims are ethnically the same except their religions. Ethnicity meaning, I want to explain the fact of belonging to a social group that has common national or cultural tradition. So both singular Christians, singular Buddhists have same common national cultural tradition, only the religions are different. So Baptist Press published number of news items, you can Google for it. This was published on August 7, 2013. English Christian priest Pastor Pereira speaks out. He says it was a normal Sunday and 70 people gathered in the house rented as a church building for worship. Praise music wafted out of the door, prayers lifted to heaven. Pastor Saman Pereira stood behind the pulpit and asked the congregation to open their Bibles. That's when normal came to crashing end. Local Sri Lankan authorities stormed in from and every exit demanding the church be stopped. Church members sat in shock until a bald man in saffron robes appeared. With the entrance of the village head monk, people hid in back. The one news. So the number of, we only give a sample here. The next one, again by another singular Christian pastor, Tilak Jaya Vikrama, he explains that the traditional way of doing house church in Sri Lanka was for organized churches to just rent a house and convert it into a church building. These are types of churches local authorities, Buddhist extremists are shutting down using violence. So this has been received wide coverage. If you go Google, hundreds of thousands are there. Here there's a tag called Asia Sri Lanka. You can see there Buddhist nationalists who believe that they must use violence and intolerance to protect Sri Lanka Buddhist heritage have been leading mobs of radicals against churches, mosques, into temples and other places of worship. This dramatic rise in intolerance coupled with government's inaction has caused many to fear this may be the new norm unless this action is taken soon. So church ransacked 2013, police were mute spectators. This is another church in Ikadua. Mob including 20 Buddhist monks attacked it earlier this month. Second attack. Actually, despite a police presence, a mob led by Buddhist monks barged into two churches on January 12th. Derna TV and is covered extensively. You can see TV. And Charisma TV, 16/1/2014, mob led by Buddhist monks stormed and vandalized Assemblies of God Church, EOG, and Calvary Free Church doing Sunday morning services this weekend. Nikadua in Sri Lanka, they come in a peaceful procession. Suddenly they assemble and they attack churches. China government restricts religious freedoms and practice, says U.S. report September 16, 2011. The U.S. State Department's Bureau of Democracy, Human Rights and Labor released its report on Sri Lanka on September 13, 2011. The international press freedom covers the period from July-December 2010 and states that while Sri Lanka publicly endorses religious freedom, it is not applied in practice. So Christian Muslims unite. Sri Lanka attacks on churches. Muslim Council raises concerns. It's a very healthy sign that we have been seeing at least on 4 or 5 occasions. Muslim brothers and sisters have lent their voice in support of Christians and Hindus. Here the Sri Lanka Muslim Council raised concerns over threats faced by religious minorities in Sri Lanka following the latest attack on 2 churches in Ikadua. In a letter to President Mahinda Rajapaksa, Sri Lankan Muslim Council said that Buddhist monks publicly claim to be an unofficial police continue to intimidate minorities. We don't go in length. If you want, you can pass and read this. So these are the 4 pictures here. You see Sri Lanka Buddhist monks attack a church. You can see there's a video. You can see that family people all take to hiding. This is a family of a pastor, serious Catholic church, and outside they pray, offer their prayer. Both churches suffered extensive damage with windows and furniture smashed and Bibles burned. The next picture, heavy destruction, violent beatings of Sri Lanka Christians on edge according to several attacks on Christians throughout Sri Lanka have taken place these last few weeks in an escalation of the persecution. Voice of the Martyrs Canada has published it. Buddhist fanatic monks tirade against Christians. Catholic non-traditional Protestant churches as well as converts from the Buddhist background face the most of the persecution. You will see the priests and nuns holding a protest. And Ellu Bodha Paura, consisting of a group of Buddhist monks, led a protest march against Calvary Free Church and Assembly of God Church in. So this we told you already. We were showing the picture, January 12, 2014. It's been happening. It's not stopped at all. So here we go in detail. 2,000 Christians gathered in Colombo on Sunday to protest against perceived lack of religious freedom in Sri Lanka following recent attacks on Christian place of worship by Buddhist extremists. 2 churches and a Christian prayer center were attacked on January 12, 2014 by Buddhist mobs claiming the illegal and aiming to take Buddhists away from the religion. The prayer center belonging to the Church of the Four Square Gospel in Pitipana near Colombo was set alight on the same day as attacks on the Service of God of Church and Calvary Free Church. So they burnt a church. So this is what you see here. Nidasha, November, even it has happened earlier in 2009, protesters of Jatika Ella Urumia, JHU. They all paraded through petrol bombs at church. Pastor of the church said to the media that protesters had threatened to kill him if he does not shut down the church. Christian priest and nun at a church were brutally assaulted. It's very latest Tuesday, August 6, 2013. Single Christian priest and single Christian nun at a church were brutally assaulted by troops due to the violence at Vilivera last week. Lawyers said today, quoting statements they had recorded. The Bar Association of Sri Lanka said team of lawyers had visited Vilivera yesterday and recorded statements from people in the area as well as the doctors who treated the injured. The people still live in fear, the executive member of BSL told the Colombo Gazette. Here, you see a English bishop, Tuesday, August 6, 2013. People who had sought refuge at St. Anthony's Church too were attacked by military. Bishop Albert Malcolm Ranjit. I think people took refuge were singular Christians. So let us see what the news is all about. The Bishop Cardinal Malcolm Ranjit condemned the attack and said it was a sacrilege for anyone to enter the sacred precincts with arms in their hands and indulge in violence. He said such actions cannot be accepted by anyone. It's always necessary that to preserve the sanctity of sacred premises of any religion. A group of Buddhists devastated the Catholic Church of Saint Francis Xavier in Angulana in the Archdiocese of Colombo in Sri Lanka. The vandals smashed 143-year-old statue of Mary. The perpetrators tore the tabernacle with the blessed sacrament from the altar, broke it up and set it on fire. I think it's very sad reading. And 2013, Sinhalese and Tamil Christians joined protest on 31 2014 to protest against the killing of Sri Lankan Christians on 8 August 2013. So these people gathered. Recent attacks on Christian places of worship by Buddhist extremists sparked protest in the Sri Lanka capital against a perceived lack of religious freedom. World Watch Monitor reports, Darwin reports that more than 2,000 Christians gathered in Colombo on Sunday to protest. So these are the singular Christians they are protesting here. And there is another where you can see the Tamil Christians, singular Christians united on January 18, 2014 in Colombo. As for Asia News, they observed Blacks July. So whatever we say about the militant groups, it's all kind of reaction. The action was on the government side. They are not the disease, they are symptoms. Let us make it, they are not the cause, they are the consequence. We should be very clear. When I read this, you will understand. Colombo, January 28, 2014. Sri Lanka's Black July is not over yet. As a nation, it's not yet reconciled with the massacre. Christian Solidarity Movement said on Monday at a meeting in Colombo marking the 27th anniversary of the massacre of up to 3,000 Christian Hindu civilians that set off the civil war. Catholic, Protestant clergy and lay people took part in the event. It was a massive Sinhalese Tamil Christians protest against the Christian Solidarity Movement. So the good news is they are united and they can protect to the extent possible. So the whole civil war, the beautiful English word is empathy. It was a kind of a one-side attack by the government and the military on the other religions. That's why the militants came, though we don't justify. Since January 2011, Sinhalese Christians too are killed. The churches are demolished frequently. 100% proof its religious matters cleansing is provided. Sample given here. Now Sri Lanka targets are Sinhalese Christians and Muslims. Muslims came centuries ago from Arab, Malaysia, Pakistan, South India, Tamil Nadu. Then we go to religious discrimination, single out Christians all since 2011. This will be very horrifying when you see this. The old story, it will be a good analogy. A filthily rich man admitted his son in a school and told the class teacher, whenever my son does any mistake, beat the poor status boy seated next to my son will learn. The modus of the government is same and simple. Even singular Buddhists commit mistakes. The army, police punished either singular Christians or Muslims. Here are the 3 such instances. It will shock you. 2011, Sinhalese Christians are also killed. From 2011, the BBS and Sri Lankan army attention turned towards Sri Lanka. Sinhalese Christians and the churches. 17 churches were attacked and ransacked. Here, Sinhalese Christian youth were killed. 2 pictures. The third one is a student. So we want to give some explanation to this. In a village, in a suburb, people protested against contaminated drinking water. It had maximum singular Buddhists and a few also singular Christians. But the army came and they asked their names, they killed 3 singular Christians in order to instill fear in the minds of singular Buddhists. The positive side of it, as we explained in most of the cases, the singular Buddhists also, they are against the government, and the boys who take the dead body here, Akila Dinesh Jayavardhana, his body include many singular Buddhist students. For them, the government action is atrocious. So it's all in one frame. You can see there is singular Christians and singular Buddhists protested against the contaminated drinking water. There's a middle picture top, and right hand side is when the singular Christians were killed. Singular Buddhists, singular Christians were holding demonstrations. What you see that Sri Lankan religions, including Buddhists, Hindus, Muslims, condemned the army attack and killing of singular Christians in Velivera. Again, the fishermen went on agitation against the rise of the oil price, and it had both singular Buddhists and singular Christians, but singular Christians were targeted. 2 people were shot, 1 died instantly. His name is Anthony Varnakola Surya. You can see the singular Christians, fishermen protest against killing, the discriminatory action singular Christians. And here see, this is very horrifying, again, discrimination, gross discrimination, kind of apartheid. A minister went and a government function, he found there are some lapse on the part of the officers. He asked their name. He chose one Muslim officer by name Murshak and tied him to the tree as a punishment. The heart-rending incident was that all the officers, whether they belong to singular Buddhism or singular Christian, they all jointly protested against the minister's action, inhuman action, and a barbaric 19th century action. So here you can see one time Ambassador of the Soviet Union, unfortunately a singular Christian, his house was set on fire as a doctor. His clinic was burnt actually. 17 Christians disappeared. The number very not clear. It must be at least minimum 10,000 Christians are not to be traced. Christians illegally detained and languishing inside the prisons. It's only United Nations Human Rights Council can do something on that. Even UNHRC, they are all languishing inside the prisons without any offense committed by them. Then Christians tortured by third-degree methods. Here we given a list. We are not going into detail. It will be very disturbing. Squeezing testicles for kids, boys and men, needle piercing, electric shocks. It goes there. We stop here. And colonizing. Number 20. Christians, Hindus properties, including those belonging to the churches and temples, are taken over and occupied by singular Buddhists. Since 2011 it's happening. Christians and Hindus properties are taken over and occupied by singular Buddhists. Colonization of North, land and property grab Hindus and Christians' properties by the singular Buddhists. They go on a procession and then they occupy the property. Here people protest. You can see Hindu and Christian, both religious property, temple and church property as well as the individual property are all taken over, and people protest against it. Already you can see the colonizing started with the temporary sheds. So it's like kind of a admission. Sri Lanka Army Chief confirms military rule, land grabs in North. Now 25th March 2014, he agrees. Lieutenant General Daya Ratanaike has publicly admitted that the northern province has been under the military rule. His troops, in the name of ensuring stability and security of the former northern war zone, were involved in mass-scale land grabs. And you can see again people protest against their land being taken. They keep a board, that's all, the land gone. Tamil Christians, Muslims, Hindus properties are looted and police are mute spectators. And people are denied their home, and sad stories, the Tamil Hindus, Christians, military occupied areas are being denied the right to livelihood and their right to life, and they sleep outside in the street. 21. Hindus and Christian houses damaged by singular Buddhist. You can see a pastor's home badly attacked. All these houses are very small, humble living. The properties are damaged. Shops. 22. Several thousands of Hindu, Muslim, Christians became disabled due to Sri Lankan army attack against their own people. The children who became handicapped due to it goes to several thousands now who were fortunate to stay alive, but they should live the rest of their life in a wheelchair. 23. Sri Lankan army responsible for creation of several thousands of widows and widowers. There is a lot of dispute about people killed, but one thing is clear. 86,000 widows are there as per even the government record. That means 80,000 people are killed. So divide Christians, Muslims, Hindus, make merry. Here a rumor was spread by a minister about a Christian bishop that is making anti-Muslim statements. A big gathering of Muslims called on the bishop and told him that they believe him. He is in a godly service. They appreciate him, went away. The minister's exploit did not work. It again another one Hindu temple was opened, and very next day morning when they went, the idol was smashed, vandalized. Hindus were shell shocked. By the time a rumor reached them that Muslims came that night and damaged it. Fortunately, the Hindus went on investigation. They found out by through a witness it was the Buddhist monks who damaged this idol. So much hate for Islam, Christian, Hinduism, and that is the minds of the influential singular Buddhists. This has been exposed by international media, including Time, BBC, papers. But Buddhism is great. Buddha was born in India. Siddhama Gautama, 490 to 410 BCE. In fact, the person dedicated to him. A few quotes of him, one or two will share. Holding on to anger is like grasping a hot coal with the intent of throwing it at someone else. You are the one who gets burned. Lord Buddha, greatest of Buddha and Buddhism, overflowing kindness of Lord Buddha. So here you say in the sky there is no distinction of east and west. People create distinctions out of their own minds and then believe them to be true. So I think all the quotes are relevant to the singular government. The point is that this all, the first one, hatred does not cease by hatred but only by love. The eternal rule, Lord Buddha, we appreciate. So Buddhism, the same as envisioned by Lord Buddha, it is same even among the majority of Buddhist population of Sri Lanka and all other Buddhist nations except a group in Sri Lanka. Kindness, the another name is Lord Buddha. You can see the pictures of these all monks. You look at them. Do you see anybody looking like Buddha or kindness on their face? So don't jump to conclusion that Buddhism is bad. You are going to see immediately the Buddhists world over, particularly in Southeast Asian Far East, Shanti Swarup, Bhutan monks, peace-loving, Japanese monks, South Korean darling child monks, most revered Cambodia monks, kind Vietnam monks, most adorable Laos monks, motherly Thailand monks, evergrace Tibet monks, compassionate Taiwan monks, Nepalese kid monks, God-fearing Chinese monks with full Mongolian monks. So everywhere they do. In fact, United Arts requested them to play the role of mediators because they do meditation. They are very powerful. Subconsciously they can do mediation and sort out small quarrels to even fights between nations. Dear Christians, your battle is won. Just take this message forward to Christians world over. Now via Facebook and email, success will be automatic. So you are not alone. So we told you, you are in the company of Christians, Muslims, Hindus, human rights activists, media persons, writers, aid workers, political opponents, honest government officers. So all of them will support you. All global Christian, Muslims, global Hindus will all support you. Praise the Lord. Greetings in His precious name. Most beloved God's children, the Sri Lankan Tamil singular, you are not alone. You see a father crying before Lord Jesus when the church was smashed. So the Lord, they are all depending on a small Tamil population. See the scale. A Tamil population 77 million, but world population 7.7 billion. The next picture shows you must add 6 zeros after 777. This is Tamil population. If you add 8 zeros after 777, it's world population. Look at this, which side is better? World Tamil population or world Christians, Muslims, Hindus, world all faith including Buddhists? I leave it to you. So from now onwards, the world will rally behind you and will get you Tamil freedom. November 2014 should be the deadline, but you must all work non-stop to achieve it. இந்த வருடம் நம்புள் கிடைக்கும். நீங்கள் தனியாக இல்லை. Just follow the guidelines given in this presentation. Totally there are as many as 28%. Kindly see all the 28 Tamil will be yours. Don't miss even one. There are two conditions. You must participate. கத்தியை யாரும் தீட்டக்கூடாது, புத்தியை மட்டுமே தீட்ட வேண்டும். Great news for the Sri Lankan Christians. You are not alone. The world will back you. As not you are the lone victim. You will be taken aback by the stunning disclosure. It will make you disturbed, upset, annoyed, perturbed, troubled if you are a Christian, Muslim, Hindu, Buddhist and human being. The most important truth for you to bear in mind, there are thousands of singular Buddhists in Sri Lanka who are true Buddhists. They have been fighting for Tamils human rights and Christians human rights. It's wrong on the part of only the rulers and the Buddhists for all bad things happening there. Violence against violence, no answer. As you will find, majority hate this. We cannot generalize anything. The brain research engineer found out that majority of the singular Buddhist monks don't like what's happening in Sri Lanka, particularly killing of religious minorities. True Buddhist monks were brutally attacked for opposing Buddhists. Their several instances when they came openly and opposed. They are good and lovely people. The sad story is that the evil, which is minor, is very dominant and hence all these atrocities. Please mother others. www.maforharmony.org and get guided. Kindly stay calm, as all religions and great prophets have never preached violence. You cannot correct a wrong by another wrong. There are several constructive, non-violent, interested, proven strategies shared here, which please follow. This aspect is showing to the one who has undertaken a communal harmony as his life mission. Please see mother others. Still lang, think of Mahatma Gandhi. Time to remember Mahatma Gandhi. The great scientist Albert Einstein. What did he say about Mahatma Gandhi? You should be one like Mahatma Gandhi. Generations to come, it may well be, will scarce believe that such a man as this one ever in flesh and blood walked upon this earth. Here are some of the quotes of Gandhiji. To give pleasure to a single heart by a single act is better than 1,000 nets bowing in prayer. In a gentle way, you can shake the world. I think you are going to do in a gentle way, shake the world. If blood be shed, let it be our own. Let us cultivate the calm courage to die without killing. Now, when it requires a double faith, faith in God and faith in man. Religions are different roads converging upon the same point. What does it matter? We take different roads so long as we reach the same goal. God has no religion, Mahatma Gandhi. So we share one idea to you in case you want to be assertive. Become a GPAN. What is GPAN? G stands for Gandhi, P stands for Patel. Both of them were from Gujarat. They wore different leadership hats. Gandhiji, known for Satyagraha, and Patel, known for firmness. Gandhiji, when he had any problem with anybody, he will hurt himself, he will go on hunger strike. But Iron Man was different. When India got freedom, 383 nations and Samasthanams were there. They all said, we got freedom, we are going to revive our kingdom and Samasthanam. But this Iron Man went and made them to sign the surrender document. So my request to you, put GPN after your name like your degree. People ask, you say, always I'm Gandhi. When I'm not given justice, I'll become Patel, which means I'll become assertive. It's also not violence. So we salute these journalists for their courage, truthfulness, and humanness. Callum McRae, Channel 4, The Telegraph, David Blair, DBS Jayaraj column, Charles Avilin, BBC. I think we strongly recommend the best awards for journalists should be bestowed upon these four people. And in fact, they all conquered our heart. Three of them are British. They conquered their heart. And you can Google for all their reports. Most of the things which we told you, only thing we put it in a proper shape. They all shared different things at different time. But we have to appreciate the courage of this. Mr. Callum McRae, Channel 4, Telegraph, David Blair, Charles Avilan, BBC, DBS Jayaraj is from Sri Lanka, who settled in Canada. His columns are very great eye-opener. They should all be recognized without fear of life. They have been exposing. This whole thing is organized by United Arts Organization, in short called UH. It's a people's movement in the people's era. UH is of the people, by the people, for the people, and its affairs will be conducted by in each nation by its non-political service organization. United Arts Organization UH, its one-line goal: children born now and hereafter will ask, what do you mean by war? It's part of Jivan Shastra for being human being. United Arts, its affairs is conducted by in each country by its national UH. Globally, it's led by UH International. UH objective: people's peace, progress and prosperity. UH activity: proactively promote communal harmony. Methods: please see mother, others. The activities of UH are supplementing and complementing the service of UN. The UN is a great nation, but its correct actions do harm people, as explained here. Drawback in its functioning: there's a gross human rights violation in a nation, finding its demands are not met by the erring nations. The armies of member nations of UN is sent. Mostly innocent people are killed, and more people are killed in the war against the nation the people killed by the ruler of the nation. Thus the treatment is worse than disease. It becomes a kind of a double punishment for people. UH takes people to human era, humans for humans. Any human life is valuable. Human rights violations are happening every minute, everywhere. By the time UN takes action, it will be too late. Governments cannot boycott goods and services of any nations unless there is UN sanction. In the case of UH, the action will be instantaneous. The people across nations, without any difference, will do voluntary boycott of goods and services of Sri Lanka. UH will motivate them to do this after giving 60 days notice to Sri Lankan government. Never be a racist. Color of skin hardly matters. It's color of the heart that's all important. You can see a picture of 5 people, maybe 5 different colors. The left on the top is white, right is yellow mangold. The one on the right at the bottom is wheatish Indian. The left is red Indian, red color, and the left is extreme left is black. Can we henceforth say that they are same color with different shades? We donate and receive blood, but we should see whether it's the same blood group. But still more important is to see that the blood is HIV AIDS free. But do you ever ask these questions listed below? The donor must be my faith nation color. When Romanian is operated, we need 1 bottle of Romanian blood. A Tunisian is operated, we need 2 bottles of Tunisian blood. A Taiwan is operated, we need 3 bottles of Taiwanese blood. A Fijian is operated, we need 4 bottles of Fijian blood. A French is operated, 5 bottles of French blood. Syrian is operated, 6 bottles of Syrian blood. Serbian is operated, 7 bottles of Serbian blood. Ethiopian operated, 8 bottles of Ethiopian blood. If there is no difference in taking blood, we should not feel that they are different from us. That's how nature has created us. We go one step further. Today organs are donated received from 2 people of different faiths. It's like almost like automobile spare parts. But if you ever ask these questions listed below, the donor must belong to my faith and then only I'll accept the donation. We will see only 2 things: whether the organ is compatible to our body, and still more important to see the blood is HIV AIDS free. Let us take some example. Do you ever say one Hindu is operated, one Hindu heart is needed, one Christian is operated, one Christian kidney is needed, a Muslim is operated, one Muslim mouth is needed, a Jew is operated, Jew's jaw is needed? We never say. Almost all religion we have put it here. So if it's a fact that we are created by nature like that, it's very unnatural for us to see difference between ourselves. So I conclude that don't miss it, action all important, blueprint to make our combined dream come true. Please view the presentation, action all important. These columns are very great eye opener. They should all be recognized without fear of life. They have been exposing. See, action all important, separate presentation, one action now immediate. The immediate action is Humans for Humans Day. Henceforth we should not divide ourselves in the name of color, religion, language and all. 10 minutes anytime from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. on the 10th day of the 10th month, October of every year. Kindly peacefully observe Humans for Humans Day. So this year it will come on this October. On the day, Humans for Humans Day will be highlighting 10 minutes, just 10 minutes, inhuman genocide of religious minorities in Sri Lanka, of Hindus, Muslims and Christians, in Myanmar of Muslims and Christians, non-violence weapon of the strong. So disclosure, prepared, presented by awakened, enlightened, 78 ounces master of fiction, called by thousands of youth of all faith, races, languages, colors and castes as Papa Rappa. Don't miss out, don't miss the prime presentation, the disclosures, main part 1, part 2 in English and Tamil. There are many more presentations, it's left to you, but definitely there are presentations, similar presentation on attack on religious minorities, Muslims and Christians. And now the message is clear. It's not for Hindu, Muslim, Christians get into violence. As I told that true Buddhists also don't like this. There should be a kind of union of all these religions in a peaceful way. They should correct the Sri Lankan government. And they should form, that's why it is a Ma. Ma says that globally we have climate change, locally we have mosquito, we have 200 common enemies waiting to wipe out the humankind from this planet. It's time that we forget our difference, join together and fight against each other. You can visit the website. I think this is a message for time being, and we'll come back to you. Thank you and wish you all the best.